What's up, YouTube? It's Todd O'Shea with Taste Tracker. How you doing? It's been a while since I've done any updates or regular videos. I'm still unpacking, as you can see back here. Trying to finish up my cabin lake house renovations and get that sold so that way I can sort of simplify my life. I know I've been saying that. I've got maybe half dozen things left on my to-do list up there. So things are winding down, and hopefully that will give me more time for the website and trading in general. I've still been doing some trades here, and so that's what this video is about today, giving an update on the Apple wheel. I haven't actually traded Apple in a bit since the first set, but we'll go over the trades and everything. So in this past month so far, I've deposited 12.3 thousand. I am basically going to get this account up to around 100,000 at least, and then I'm going to actually start making withdrawals on this account off of the monthly income that I make. And so we can see for both June, July, I have about $650 of profit. It's a little bit misleading because, for the first period of time, I only had $3,000 while I was still trading Apple, which is a $12,000 stock, so, or thereabouts. So, it's a little bit misleading as I deposit money and stuff like that. But, we can see I had about 10% here, and then up until a couple of days ago, I had 4 or 5%. But then, of course, the more deposits I make, it makes my ROI look worse and worse and worse. So with this style of account, because I'm selling naked puts, the emphasis is more on the cash value and the win rate and the days in trade, those kinds of numbers, as opposed to the actual ROI. Okay, so let's go over here to the history. Gosh, I don't even know what I had the last time I made a video. It was probably back in here with DAL and AMAT. So I'm still hanging on to AMAT. I did close, actually I'm still holding on to DAL as well. I opened Twitter and then closed it here for a 1-day 219 profit. That was over earnings. Roblox I still have. Plug I just closed today, so that was a net profit of $28, nothing big there. I did get a little bit scared. I was going to hold that through earnings, but some of the other green energy is looking a little bit iffy going through earnings, whereas most of tech is doing good through earnings. So I didn't really want to hold Plug, so I was just getting out to try to avoid assignment there. And of course it had a small gain, so that was nice. I got in and out of Overstock for $150 profit, and then that same day it jumped up to another $90 in value, increased in value. So I turned around and opened it right back up again. So I'm still in that. So that basically brings us up to date here. If we go over to the account, like I said, I've deposited in total 17.3, and you can see the count is at 18.2, so about $1,000 profit. Only realized the 1,200 here, so obviously some of these are down a bit. I've yet to be assigned on any of my tickers yet. Obviously, as I've said a number of times before, that will happen at some point. I will be assigned. I'm fully expecting that. And I have enough to cover the amount of assignment for all of these positions. So the best way to tell that is by looking here at collateral. 32,653 is what I would need to take ownership of everything. If you go to account balance, when you open up a new log, it'll automatically fill in the collateral for you. That's another way to look at it. And the last way is if you come to this page, it will total up these two figures. They should all equal the same thing. That's the collateral needed to take assignment. Okay. These are all short puts too. That makes it drastically easier if you have different accounts for different styles of play, which I've also talked about that before. Okay, so AMAT today is up 130. That had been down for a couple days. I guess basically all week, these tickers have been struggling a little bit, where they're either not gaining ground or outright, down. Yesterday was down in general. The market was down. So today we're back up to where we were, back above the 20-day. I still am hoping that we get up in this range and preferably even touch the yellow. If we get up to that high, I will be closing out. Not looking to roll or anything at that position. I still think MACD and RSI are in a good position to do that. However, it is a bit concerning here that we topped out here and then are back in this area again. So if we don't get some positive movement here, I'll try to exit. The total collateral collected is 382, and right now the position is trading for 245. So I could still get out with $140 profit if I exited today. Of course, it's after market hours, but I could get out for a profit as is. But if we could make it up higher, obviously that will really cement and suck out the remaining, another 150 or something like that. You can see I have a closing order here for 125. That way, if I'm not watching the market, it'll close it automatically. But if I'm watching it and I see it getting up into this range, then I'm looking for a close. Okay. Dow has just been a dog. I got this short put because of the small account challenge, 2021 small account challenge that I've not been doing anything with in Robinhood. How I've had stock there and it just stayed flat. So I said, okay, well, if it's just going to stay flat, then I'll sell a put over here on a different account. And I've talked about that before, where I use positions in my different accounts to and play off of those in other accounts to make profitable action. So, I had talked about doing an iron condor possibly on Dow. I ended up going with some short puts, but the point here is I try to use the most appropriate account, look at all of my accounts, see what positions are I still like, but maybe are being challenged. So this is definitely a position. I think I bought the share, back up in here. And so then it's been flat through this whole thing and then down. So if I sell the short put, then I'm agreeing to buy it somewhere, in this price range, as well as getting a credit to do so. So that's sort of the thought process there. That is, let's see, the 42 strike. So we are hovering right there, and as long as I'm right in the ballpark, I'm not going to get assigned. Even if it is down to a week of expiration, because there's too much unknown about where it could go. If it was deep in the money, then I would get assigned if it was close to expiration. So those are kind of the choices you have to work with. If your strike is not good, then roll it out further and you won't get assigned. If your strike is fine, you can really run it down to the wire. But of course, you're risking a drastic move 1 or 2 days to really throw off your thing. So it could be fine today. Today's Wednesday. And then all of a sudden on Friday, it has 2 really red days and we end up down here at 35. Then the odds of me getting, of course, expiration would be on a Friday. This one's not till August 20th, though. Anyway, so this one is currently trading for 190. I have total credit of 171. So I would lose $20 if I close it out today. And this is one of the main reasons I wrote Tasty Trackers, because if I were just looking at Tastyworks and I didn't have this documented, I would think, oh, I'm up 16%, almost $40, and I would close out of this position and think I did really good. The reality is clearly here, because I've rolled it multiple times, the broker gets confused at how much money you actually have. It bases these figures off of the last roll, not over the cumulative position. So anyway, overstock. Let's go into here. I collected total of 523. It's trading for, I don't think that's right. I have the 79. It's sitting at 75. It could be right, but I doubt that's right. So anyway, let's go to the chart. Okay. So yeah, it's kind of plummeted here. Earnings is the 29th, so that is tomorrow. Today's the 28th. So, I'm expecting a substantial IV crush, even if the stock stays flat. The IV crush could suck out enough premium for me to be profitable on the position. It it might not. If it stays flat or goes up, right now it's up after hours. Yeah, you can see that. Barely, but it is up after hours. So there is also the potential here that earnings go well, and then you get the IV crush plus the earnings. So obviously that remains to be seen. It's got 23 days to expiration, plenty of time on the 79 strike. Again, that's right here where this yellow line is, and we closed down here, but we started the day, it was right there, so not too far off from where it's at. Roblox have the 83 strike. It's currently trading at 79, so again, not too far off. And this is a stock that is newer IPO. I honestly wouldn't mind owning it if it came to that. Earnings is coming up here shortly, but I've collected a total of 635, which is pretty good premium. When you look at the rest of these, I did fairly well on that one. So that's 83 strike. It's trading for 785. So I am down at 150. Again, that's not fully calculated here. But yeah, I'm not really concerned at this position at all. It does have a good chance at getting through here. This has acted as support now multiple times and resistance back here multiple times. What is probably likely to happen is that the 20-day gets around this area, and then we finally push through that. Of course, then we'll get caught up on the 50-day. So I think that really sums up everything that's been happening. If we look at the total account here, it's got a 77% probability of profit, but we can see the percentages of each position individually. Today's the first day that the cash value it was over 20,000. Again, largely because of my deposits. I'm not trying to claim otherwise, but I am up about $1,000, and that's perfectly okay with me for the amount that I've had. Again, it's a little bit hard to gauge how well I'm doing because of how rapidly I'm depositing cash into the account. But overall, I would say things are going fairly well for the current market conditions that are 2021. Anyway, if you have any questions about any of this, let me know. Be happy to answer those. These are all being published for free on Twitter for right now, just because the market's not really that hot, so I don't really mind sharing that. This is half my trades, honestly, for at the moment, because I'm still operating at a reduced level of transactions. So anyway, yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Thanks.